This looks a little uncomfortable, like this position.
Like,
here.
why would you be laying on a couch?
Also, would you ever cut your hair like this now?
No.
That's
Hey, Drew.
maybe I try. Hey,
What are you wearing?
you going somewhere? Drew?
Drew.
Hey guys, welcome to Coog Cinema Reviews. My name is Ryan.
My name is Ammar, and we're going to be reviewing The Batman, starring the Robert Pattinson.
And directed by the Matt Reeves. In The Batman, Bruce Wayne is in his second year as Batman, which I think should be established right up front because the people of Gotham react to him very differently than most interpretations. The GCPD especially, they don't like him. Gordon seems to be the only one who tolerates him a bit, and the citizens, they still consider him kind of a myth.
It's not really like an origin story. We still jump in at some point, so I think that that's a good way in just like starting the movie and not like wasting time on a story that like most people already know.
Riddler instigates the conflict of the film by killing certain members of Gotham's elite, whether it be officials in the political system or officials in the social hierarchy. And he essentially, in Riddler fashion, he leaves riddles for Batman and Gordon to order to lead them on this trail. And through that, it's essentially a mystery of why exactly is Riddler doing this, and we ultimately find out something about Gotham that neither Bruce or the people of Gotham may have known about. So, of course, Robert Pattinson is playing Batman.
He is like the star of this movie. Like he is the Batman. They chose him perfectly for this role. There's also Andy Serkis as Alfred, who also plays well. But yeah, like I feel that I was most allured by Robert Pattinson. He was just such a good actor, and every time he was on screen, I was just glued to it. Like I couldn't take my eyes off of him.
This movie also includes a plethora of Batman's villains who are not quite their villains as they are in the comics in present day, but they certainly are starting that way. You have, as we mentioned, Paul Dano as Riddler, which I'm sure we'll talk a lot about him. We have Zoe Kravitz taking her reign as Catwoman, or Selina Kyle as she's known. You also have Colin Farrell, who disappears into the role of the Penguin. I think both of us can agree on that. And also, surprisingly for me, you have John Turturro playing Carmine Falcone. When I heard Matt Reeves be taking over as director and maybe write the film, I was interested in it because he has shown he's a good writer and director with the Planet of the Apes films that he directed. But really what won me over was his discussion about how he wanted to bring it down to a more detective level story, which I was really excited about because as much as I love the other Batman movies, like the Nolan films, some of the anime movies as well, they never tackled the detective element of Bruce Wayne. He is the world's greatest detective after all. So hearing that immediately won me over. And the more we got of it, I was like, oh, this is going to be something different.
Batman really needed a new adaptation, and Robert Pattinson was like at the forefront of it, and I feel that's again he's like the best part about it, and he really brought like the movie to another level.
The GCPD don't like Batman. They actively, if they were given the chance, they would arrest him, or maybe worse, probably kill him. But Gordon, he seems to be the only one who at least tolerates him, which I really found very interesting. He is kind of like on an emotional tug of war. There's literally, not to spoil anything, but there's actually a scene where that is shown throughout. Mm-hmm. In the building, he's literally like in between them as well, which was a very tense scene as well. I was won over by everything except for Riddler. It wasn't that I hated the idea of making Riddler kind of a Zodiac Killer inspired character. I said to myself, that could work. Let me see how it turns out. I was won over by it because he's still kept in tune with the core of the character. Mm-hmm. He's the guy who thinks that his stuff doesn't stink, and he will prove everything in his power to prove that he's better than you.
Like his interpretation of the character by Reeves, it was definitely going in the direction that like the Nolan films went in, and trying to like take him to like a more grounded in reality, and try to just like translate like that comic booky like wackiness into like something more realistic. And I felt it worked out really well.
I would agree.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson, I've been following him for like pretty much all my life. I was a big fan of the Twilight movies. Team Edward.
Yes, you can go for it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, before this review, I kind of even just like researched like how he acts in all of his movies. I think one of like the scenes that he performs pretty well in is Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, and that is like the bedroom scene with Bella and Edward. And I feel that he just has like this way in where he just like grabs you and just like puts you in the scene. Like when I watch that scene, like I watch it like multiple times on my own. I just picture it like I'm Bella, you know, like I'm on that bed. And I feel that he really puts that in the Batman 2. You see like these like scenes where he's just like without the mask and just Bruce, and he's like shirtless, and I'm just like I'm just like my breath is taken away, and I just feel like I'm there. Like, it's not like I wish I was Catwoman, you know, like on the roof. I wanted that kiss, you know. I'm sorry. I'm being ahead of myself. But yeah, like I just wanted like a taste of that vengeance, and I feel like Robert Pattinson just like gave that to me, you know.
The best way to describe Pattinson's Batman in this is emo. It's very much a recluse in this, which I found very interesting, and it really opened my mind to interpretations of Batman, because I feel as long as you get the core elements of the character, you're good. Like, you get the core elements, that this was a kid. When he was a kid, he lost his parents in cold blood, mercilessly, and he devoted himself to fighting crime in Gotham and cleaning up the streets of Gotham, and that's it. And I feel you can play around in that more, and I feel Reeves did that beautifully in this film. When I first heard that she was playing Catwoman, I literally said, perfect. Like, that is perfect. I haven't seen everything that Zoe Kravitz has been in, but what I have seen her in, I was like, she's perfect as Catwoman. Because Catwoman, she pretty much is the perfect Catwoman for me. Not to pretty much diss on Anne Hathaway, she did well in it, but here it's Catwoman to a T, where she's very much mysterious.
The Penguin was like my favorite villain in the movie. He had like such good interpretation of the character, and even if he wasn't like the focus, like the Riddler, I feel the scenes he was in played a part in the movie that like had its place. And I've heard some criticisms that like, yeah, there's maybe a little like too much sidetracking, and it should like more so focus on the Riddler. Have you heard anything like that? Or
I haven't heard anything like that. I understand where they're coming from with that. My stance on it is, it's weird. Like, Riddler is the main villain of the story. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And Carmine Falcone and Penguin, I wouldn't say they're villains. They're more of obstacle courses that Batman has to go through. Yeah,
in my opinion, the strongest aspect of the movie was the acting. So we had like Zoe, which she did like an amazing job on Catwoman. We had Andy Serkis, who did really good as Alfred. I mean, and most of all, there's Robert again. I can't say this enough. Like, he was amazing, and when this movie comes like on Blu-ray, I'm definitely gonna be watching it alone. I mean, with people, and alone. Like with people, I'll watch it with people, okay? And then
in my opinion, the strongest aspect was actually the overall production design and just the look and feel of Gotham. Because I'm of the strong belief that no matter how many interpretations you have of the character, you need to get Gotham right. Because let's be honest, Gotham, it's not a place you want to live in. Yeah. At best, I would describe Gotham City as dangerous, and at worst, I would describe it as hopeless. Yeah. So it's like, it's very bad, and I just loved how they very captured that. It goes to the production design, it goes to Greg Fraser's cinematography, which was...
Didn't it take like inspiration from like the Arkham games though?
It took inspiration from a lot of things. Matt Reeves talked about how he was inspired by 70s crime dramas like Taxi Driver, Chinatown, and French Connection. I felt all three of those combined. Another aspect that we think was very strong was the music. He nails each character's themes very well. The Batman theme, once again, it reflects on the character growth that Bruce goes in this movie, where it's very brash, it's very angry. But there are, if you listen to the full track, it's very much kind of elegant and such. It's like a nice little representation of Bruce's character growth. I love Catwoman's theme. It's just very elegant, very mysterious. Same with Riddler as well. It's just, the score very much stands out. I prefer when an action scene, when the camera is at a wider angle, where you see every single player move, and the camera is steady. I don't care for shaky cam that much, if it's warranted and if it's not like this shaky.
Yeah.
And I also like it when the shots are able to breathe. It may not be like long takes, but like give it like 10 to 30 seconds of just one single frame. My best comparison is this is a Batman review, but Steven Spielberg's adaptation of West Side Story. There's certain that it lets the shot breathe a bit. It lets you take in everything that you're seeing.
Oh yeah, like the setting. That's why Arkham feels like so alive in it. Maybe that's like a reason for it. Yeah.
That's what makes it feel so alive. But but that's the thing that stood out for me. What about you?
Again, what was the question again?
I think what really stood out for me, in addition to the action, was Carmine Falcone. I was initially surprised that he was going to be in the film, and the fact that John Turturro was going to be playing him. And I saw the set photos, and I was like, holy shit! Like John Turturro's playing Carmine Falcone.
I personally think it's the best one, just like in every aspect. We got like the best like interpretation of Batman, Pattinson, and I just feel like it's the most focused. It has like its own character, whereas like the past Batman like films, like they kind of like took time to like develop like its own identity. Like with the Nolan films, it really like found its stride in like the Dark Knight. But like over here, it found it right away. It's there. We got the Batman. We love how he acts.
It's definitely in my top 3. I'm not sure if it's my favorite though, because I really love Mask of the Phantasm.
The animated one.
The animated one.
Okay.
I think it's honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh wow. Okay.
If you haven't seen it, fix that and watch it.
Yeah, watch the animated series. It's good.
Animated series as well. But
Not better than Pattinson though, but like it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about like I have to see it one more time. I've only seen it once, and I need to see it a couple more times to really cement my thoughts. But it's definitely up there. It's definitely, to satisfy the question, it's for sure in my top 3. Absolutely, we would love to see a sequel. Is that even?
Yeah, I want it. Like what? Just give it me now. What?
As far as what I would like to see in it, this may sound kind of this may seem a little bit sacrilege for most Batman fans, but I don't want to see Joker in it.
What if they just do like a Spider-Man Sinister Six thing and just like have like a bunch of them just come all at once and maybe not let them like, since there's so many of them, just don't let them be the focus and maybe like make it more character focused, like on like Batman himself. Maybe like Bruce building himself up and like him that awkward phase of going into like that Playboy persona, you know?
Right, that could work.
There we go. I want to see more Bruce. Thank you for watching Coog Cinema Reviews. I'm Ammar.
I'm Ryan, and we'll see you on the next episode.
People ask me why I do the things that I do. Well, because I'm a virgin. I mean, I'm vengeance. Yes, because I'm vengeance. Oops, wrong way.